All right, what is up, everybody? Welcome into today's edition of In the Game. I am your host, Hustle, and as always, we'll be diving into the NFT gaming landscape today. As I'm super excited to be joined by one of the sharpest looking games in the space. And if you follow the show, if you follow me, you know that I am a diehard first-person shooter fan. So Earth from Another Sun has really been catching my eye personally, and I'm honored to have the community manager from Earth from Another Sun, Anthony, on today's show. We're going to dive into everything in the ecosystem and just kind of take a look at the gameplay and everything going on, because I think this is one definitely worth taking a look at. We'll dive into the game top to bottom in this edition. Without further ado, let's get in the game.
T-minus 15 seconds. Guidance is internal. 12, 11, 10, 9. Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
If you ain't here to hustle, why is you here? But if you here to hustle, the moon is near. It's crypto Banter, not financial advice. If you don't listen, what's the cost, what's the price? This ain't a game, put you on game. I know you don't play, but ain't a percent. If you ain't here to hustle, why is you here? But if you here to hustle, the moon is near. It's crypto Banter, not financial advice. If you don't listen, what's the cost, what's the price? This ain't a game, put you on game. I know you gon' play, but ain't a play. If you get lost, show you the way.
All right, let's dive right into it, and be sure to drop down and like the video if you enjoyed the show and if you are bullish on the NFT gaming landscape, as well as subscribe to the channel for videos here every single day on the channel. And shout out to our sponsors here on In the Game: Myria, one of the leading gaming platforms in all of Web3 gaming; Animoca Brands, one of the largest Web3 gaming companies in the world; Unix Gaming, one of the leading Web3 infrastructures in crypto gaming; and MEXC, the official exchange of the show. Be sure to drop down and hit the link in the description to check out any of those. And let's bring on Anthony from Earth from Another Sun. I'm super excited to get into everything regarding this project today and just kind of get to know the ecosystem a little better. So Anthony, how's it going today?
Pretty good, thank you. What about you, Hustle?
All good today. Thank you for taking the time. I know it's late over where you are, so we're gonna keep it concise. We're gonna get to the alpha, as they say, and we're gonna kind of get some more details on the game, because I think the quality of the game, it's getting attention from across the space, as we see with the PC Gamer article just today, I believe. So we'll kind of talk about why this should be on people's radar and get more information on the ecosystem. So to start, I'll let you introduce yourself, as well as if you want to give a short introduction for Earth from Another Sun.
Sure thing. So, hello everyone. I'm Anthony, the community manager for Earth from Another Sun. Since we will dive into what the game is about, I'll intro the studio a little bit more, because I think it's more interesting. Earth from Another Sun is actually our third game. We are an established studio in the video game industry called Multiverse. Our two previous games were VR games, because in the studio we really like looking into the future of gaming. And right now, Web3 seems like the natural next step. As of now, Earth from Another Sun is not VR yet. We're just waiting on the specs for the Quest 3 and the PSVR 2.
Awesome. Yeah, and I'm super stoked. Correct me if I'm wrong. There's games from the studio or Earth from Another Sun that's on Steam as well, correct? Is that what I've seen? Okay.
Yes,
that's awesome.
Earth from Another Sun has and will continue to have a Web2 version. Players from the Web2 and Web3 version can play together. It's just
phenomenal.
that the Web2 version is stripped of all NFT related things.
Okay.
No token, no wallet. It's not hidden. It's just not there. That way we can be on Steam.
Okay, that's brilliant. We're going to talk about that more. We're going to get into that more in the meat of the show. But how did you get into the space, right? How did you get into crypto? How did you get into NFT gaming? What's your background in gaming? What kind of led you to this point personally to be working with Earth from Another Sun?
So I discovered crypto in the studio. When I came in, everyone was playing CryptoKitties. So that's kind of the introduction I got to it. And when they pitched it to me, I was kind of like, skeptical, not really understanding. But then I got the ownership aspect, which is really what interests me. And then I was like, oh, there's a thing called interoperability. And I was sold. Like, that's the thing I love the most. And we're already starting to have interoperability in the game. So that's super cool. As for myself, I was studying negotiation and law, and when I finished my degree, I just stumbled into this job.
That's awesome, and that's the power of Web3, and the opportunities that Web3 gaming is bringing to the table, and such an early stage. So like, obviously, you've mentioned ownership, you've mentioned interoperability. Like, I think likewise, we both share the conviction that NFT gaming will either maybe become a segment of the gaming market, like one particular market, or will it become the gaming market eventually? Will NFT gaming get to the point where it's going to become gaming? What's your long-term perspective on where this industry can, and your opinion on where it will go?
Oh yeah, I think it can definitely go mainstream. We just need to fix the little optics problem we have with the current Web2 players and Web2 users in general, where they kind of see anything Web3 as evil. And it's, yeah, anything that filters into mainstream media is just super bad press. So we have to try to reduce it bad press as much as possible.
Yeah, and that's so true, right? Every single thing in the space that comes through that gets highly publicized is like the Minecraft banning NFTs, which is really that was such like a red flag headline, but really they were just trying to get there. I'm sure that we see Microsoft yesterday just made a $20 million actually investment into Web3. So, they're actually, you can tell they're working towards something themselves. They're just trying to block out things in their inside of their products. The Axie Infinity $600 million hack that was highly publicized. Stuff like that. People see that and they think, okay, I would never touch it. It's a scam. I think just changing the stigma, lowering the barrier of entry as far as like making it easy to get into the game. Which
absolutely.
What you said about the Steam and, like having a Web3 iteration, but also being on Steam. I think that's fantastic. So, I mean, let's just go ahead and dive into, the game, the ecosystem. Can you kind of describe like what kind of gameplay you're going to be? We'll take a look at the gameplay trailer. What kind of gameplay people can expect whenever they hop into the game, and like what is the gameplay loop like?
Well, you can expect your standard MMO FPS action. So kind of like Borderlands is not an MMO, but that kind of Borderlands or Destiny when you're playing alone or with your team. But on top of that, there is another aspect with the army battles in which every kind of activity you do in the game rewards you with currency and materials for you to be able to craft equipment for your character, but as well troops that we just saw on the screen. So we have different types of troops and vehicles. And when you're in these battles, you command them in first person. So you're still fighting, you still have your character, you have all your moves, you still have your companion characters, but at the same time, you have all these troops that you need to command and lead to victory.
Okay, got it. And where do looking at the gameplay, where do the NFTs and where does the economic structure of the game fall into it for those who choose into the Web3 side of things?
Yeah. So basically, what we've decided to do is to finish building all the systems of the game before we introduce our tokens. So basically, the whole game is NFT and token powered. So your whole inventory, your weapons, your ships, your troops, basically everything, your skins as well, if you want to roll with that. We're just missing PvP at this point. We're working on PvP at the moment, but fairly soon you will see the tokens in the game. And basically, you can imagine Ursula von der Leyen EFAS's economy as World of Warcraft, but powered by tokens, and you owning every items in your bag.
Okay, got it. And I mean, yeah, the gameplay. I mean, there's so many different. Just from the gameplay trailer, there's so many different. I mean, that guy's skin right there is sick, right? Like this one right here. Like if I was to get that guy's skin, I feel like he would be. That'd be pretty solid. But like, just for example, a lot of this stuff could be NFT driven and NFT oriented. So I definitely love that. And when can people actually be able to expect to get their hands on the game, as far as when will the full game launch come out for the Web3 side of things?
So the full game, so us out of alpha and beta, that will come after a while. But basically the players will be able to, Web3 players who want to get into the game will be able to play by holding an NFT from our free mint that is happening reveal here October 5th on Fractal.
October 5th on Fractal.
Oh, yeah, fractal.is/EFAS, EFAS. On October 5th, we're doing a free mint.
And you said that was the first time you said it was here too, right?
Yes, exactly.
All right, that's major alpha for the Banter community.
I kept it for here.
yeah, major alpha for the Banter fam. So October 5th for their upcoming free mint, which will, as we see here on the on the utility, which I think this is the type of utility you want to see out of a game, right? There's so many games that kind of give this sort of, I don't know, beat around the bush type of utility, but obviously gives you access into the game. It's free to play. It's a free mint. One of one character assists you in combat, out of combat resources, future airdrops inside the ecosystem. So I think it's definitely a strong. Obviously, I have high conviction in the game, and then when you're looking at the utility behind it, I think the utility behind the NFTs is super strong as well. So October 5th on Fractal. That's correct.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah, correct.
And let's talk about lowering. Obviously, we're seeing PC Gamer talking about Earth from Another Sun, and do you think what's with the audience with the crossover from Steam and Web3? What is the player base right now with Steam? I'm pretty sure it's live on Steam right now, right?
The game has a free trial up on Steam right now that was released about a week ago. So we're preparing for the Steam Fest. If you want to help our beautiful Web3 game, you can go on Steam and wishlist us and play. Both will help us tremendously. But yeah, so basically we have the Web 2 version for sale for quite a while now, and we've sold around 12,000 copies with little to no marketing.
Got it. Yeah, I mean, I think the marketing's really started with the Web3 side, if I'm not mistaken. That's when the more of the marketing's coming, and you guys really want to transcend to that industry and kind of bridge that gap, literally. And I think that's really cool. Where did that ideology come from? To instead of just making it so complicated, right? There's so many games that you log into the website, boom, wallet hits you in the face, or your MetaMask asking you to sign before you even touch the game or before you even get to look at anything. What kind of, in y'all's mind, y'all were a traditional gaming studio already producing it's on Steam, for example.
We have.
We're just keep our Web 2 game there, but we can use the same type of login information sort of thing on our website, maybe connect with your Steam account, and boom, it connects with your stats on the game, and you're able to link your assets, however it was on the back end. What was that link that just let's not overcomplicate things. Let's keep the Web 2 game and then have a back end with just Web 3 capabilities?
It's just basically the ease of access. We don't want a player to be like, what's a wallet? As soon as they hop into the game and be lost within 10 minutes, they already have to learn the game. Just ease of access, lowering the barrier of entry. And it as well, we know, on top of it being difficult, I don't think it's really something that will hold most players if they really want to get into it. Because setting up a World of Warcraft account a few years ago was a headache when you didn't know how to do it. It was your first subscription. But so I think difficulty is not really what slows everything down. It's really the perception. So we're really glad to have Web 2 players that have our back, and they know us, they trust us. And when we announced the free mint, we're like, since you're backers, you got into the game, you paid to get into the game. We want to get you first on the line in the free mint if you want. And we've taught around 500 of our players actually to open a wallet and get into our giveaway for the whitelist tokens. So we're super proud of that. We're getting people into Web3 through our game.
And I think you've probably been asked this before on any spaces. I do want to ask this question just because it's very public that Steam banned NFT games. What's the stance there, right? So is there any concern on you guys' end that they would ever delist the game from NFT capabilities? But because there's no NFT capabilities on the front end, do you think there's no concern?
Yeah, there's really no concern for us. There are other games that do this. As long as you don't advertise your NFT version on Steam, they don't really care.
Okay, yeah, I figured that would be a valuable question for everyone to just kind of hear the answer on, because I figured I knew
Yeah.
the exact answer to that. As long as there's no capabilities of that being advertised on the front end, it's just a game. But if you get
Yeah,
into if you
but
dive into it
they
more,
need
you
to
can
be
find that out.
completely absent from
Yeah,
the game build as well. I think
yeah,
they
that
would
makes
be able
sense.
to detect it otherwise. In my opinion, they're trying to protect themselves legally in case a game rugs. So you can do it just outside of the platform.
Right. And you mentioned your backers. If you want to list off some of the backers behind the project.
Oh yeah, so when I say backers, it's our players
Oh, okay.
who purchase the game.
See,
Otherwise, we do
that's
have
fantastic.
yeah. So we do thank them because they pushed us forward, and anyone that bought our previous games before also funded EFAS for the first 3.5 years. And recently, we got investments from FTX, Solana Ventures, as well as Lightspeed.
Got it. Yeah. I figured that would be valuable as well for everyone to kind of hear, because I know that this game was funded from previous games, right?
Yeah.
So that was fantastic. Whenever I heard that, and whenever we had spoke, it was like that was fantastic to see. Just that's how a game should, like a traditional studio. They self funded the game, and now with top tier backers, I'm really excited to see where the ecosystem goes from here. And obviously October 5th for the upcoming mint. Will the game, a lot of the NFTs are incorporating through Solana. Will the game officially run on Solana?
Yes.
Why did you guys choose Solana? I like to ask Solana games this just because there's a lot of controversy on the outside, right? Whenever Solana network goes down, for example. What was the
Yeah.
ideology to build on Solana?
Well, basically, at the time, we were thinking of the impact of ETH both on the environment and the GPU market, but it was mainly for our players as well, because we know that if we announce we're on ETH, like our two players would be extremely pissed. So we really like the forward thinking way of Solana with the proof of history, as well as just not being non-mineable. We know that it's really, like, our players really enjoy that, and as well, basically the speed of transaction on Solana is without rivals, and when you're in a game, you really don't want to wait like 5 minutes to get your transaction validated when you purchase an item. So speed was also a very influential thing in the decision.
Shots taken on the 5 minutes. I'm kidding. No, I agree though. Whenever you use the Solana network, when it's working, it's and it works most of the time. It's more of
when it's not down.
yeah. It's more of a meme at
We
this point
deserve
than
this
it is.
one.
Yeah, it's more of a meme at that point. But I do agree. It's super quick. Like it is so fast. Yeah, and I think I'm just so stoked to see this type of a game because, as mentioned in the article, it kind of looks like this reminds me of Halo, obviously, with the dual wielding. What would you kind of liken the game to if you had to compare it to a game?
If I had to compare it to a game, I would say maybe Warframe for the solo aspect,
Yeah.
and Mount and Blade for when you have your army. Mount and Blade
Okay.
was really a big inspiration.
Got it. And you mentioned PvP is on the way, right?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah, that will use the army mechanics as well. So the army battles.
That's like where my forte in gaming really lies too. Like a good campaign, a good solo game gets me going. But then once I'm like competing against someone else in a shooter, that's like my niche. I spent 6 years in the esports industry and first person shooters. So, that was really something that I liken to. So PvP is going to be right up my alley in a game like this with like the jetpacks and the movement. And I'm really looking forward to it. Are there any esports plans down the line? Do you think that this game could be esports compatible in any way?
Yes. So I had a space yesterday with the Samurai Army, which is the NFT branch from G2 Esports, who has, I believe, the top team in League of Legends.
Yeah.
So we're discussing with them, and we're discussing with other teams. Solana is really pushing us towards this aspect. So yeah, we are. We can't make any promises, but we are trying to make EFAS esports worthy. So something fun to watch and interesting to play with a high skill ceiling and different types of build for your army and your character.
Like I said, I could see Halo. I could see Halo players picking this up very quickly. This is like one of those games where if I was to watch Halo Infinite pro players to this, in my opinion, they would probably be able to come over and play this game at a pretty high level. And I think that esports is one of those most natural ways to actually break into the traditional gaming landscape. Competition that actually perks up not just an NFT Web3 gamer who wants some sort of token or NFT prize. It gets the best gamers from around the world to come compete. And I think that esports is one of those bridges, kind of like mobile, mobile games, esports, and obviously just once the AAA titles hit, real AAA titles. People always say my game's a AAA game. I think you guys' game is definitely shaping up to be a AAA game, and I'm super excited. Whenever this does shape up, it's safe to say game will launch fully in 2023.
Hopefully, we should get out of alpha in 2023. That's for sure.
Okay.
So we will launch and probably become free to play, but not free to earn.
Got it.
You'll need an NFT to earn. But otherwise, we'll say soft launch will be in 2023.
Got it. And as far as the October 5th date with the free mint, the holders of that free mint, they'll be able to hop in the closed alpha as soon as that occurs, correct?
Yeah, immediately. So after the mint, you will need to be a little patient for the reveal of your character. As soon as the character is revealed, you should be able to play with using your NFT to unlock game access.
That is amazing. Yeah, I'm super stoked for more people to have exposure to this. I think that if you have gotten your hands on this, it's super sharp. It's AAA. The movement feels great. Coming from a game like for me, like Warzone, or if you play like Apex Legends, there's a lot of advanced movement mechanics in those types of games, and they're definitely incorporated in Earth from Another Sun. So, Anthony, anything you want to leave off before we sign off for the show?
Not really, but yeah, if anyone wants to try the game before the mint, the game is up on Steam right now as a free trial until October 10th. We are participating in the Steam Fest, the Steam Next Fest. So it will help us tremendously if anyone wishlists us or plays during the event. We ranked 11th last year in this event, right outside of the top 10. But hopefully with our new Web3 fans, we can push for the first place this time, and really show that Web3 has a place in gaming.
Yeah, I think that the power of the Web3 gaming community could probably make that happen.
Yeah,
definitely.
We're counting on you.
And where can people follow? Where can people follow the game?
So you can join us on our Discord, discord.gg/EFAS, or simply on our Twitter at PlayEFAS.
Awesome.
PlayEFAS.
Well, all right, Anthony, thank you so much for joining me. Like I said, I know it's late where you are. We got a lot of information in that little 24-minute window. So I really appreciate the time, and we'll definitely have to catch up later on whenever there's more developments on the game. I'm super stoked for it. And guys, if you're bullish on Earth from Another Sun, be sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel for more in-the-game editions here every single week and videos across the entire crypto industry every single day. I'll be back Saturday with another exclusive interview. As always, guys, play well, my friends.